There are around 23 FNAF games. Last year, I 100% completed 12 of the mainline games in a single video. This year, I decided to add 11 new games to play, 4 additional spin-offs, and 4 more troll games that I didn't play in the first place to make that a total of 20 games. Then, add on Into the Pit, the 5 laps at Freddy's demo, as well as Secret of the Mimic for a grand total of 23 games. And don't forget, I'm not just completing these games, but I'm gonna 100% complete them. Anyways, enjoy the video. In case you're wondering, the full uncut series of all 23 games are in a playlist that's linked right down below in the description. Please feel free to check that out for proof, as well as something to watch when studying or just to have on in the background. All of these videos are fully timestamped with every single objective that I use for each game for your enjoyment. They aren't really meant to be guides, but since they are timestamped, you can also technically use them as guides for certain games. Starting with the base rules. No skips, for example, like CD+. No out of bounds in the free roam games like Security Breach and Secret of the Mimic. Every game must be played in release order from oldest game to newest game. No glitches like the FNAF 1 Foxy glitch or even the 1 FPS glitch in FNAF 1. I must play the VR games in VR mode, so not using flat mode on Steam. And finally, I decided this might be controversial, but no self-imposed challenges. That means no Hardest Saturday in Pizzeria Simulator, no 50-20 no death coin in Ultimate Custom Night, and finally no True Nightmare in Into the Pit. So now for the goals and objectives of each and every game. Starting off with Five Nights at Freddy's. Very simple starting game. All we're gonna have to do is nights 1 to 5, night 6, and 420 mode on night 7. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Nights 1 to 5, night 6, and then all 9 night 7 presets, and finally Golden Freddy 1020 mode. The Five Nights at Freddy's 3 troll game. The only thing to do in this game is to beat all 30 levels, since there's no achievements, secrets, or collectibles, so I think that's pretty reasonable, just to beat all the levels. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Nights 1 to 5, just to get the bad ending, and then nights 1 to 5 again for the good ending. Nightmare mode or night 6, and finally Aggressive Nightmare mode. Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Nights 1 to 5, night 6, Nightmare or night 7, then 420 for night 8. Finally, we will be doing all 6 extra challenge presets, all on Nightmare mode. FNAF World Halloween Edition. All 10 character upgrades and beating all 19 bosses. Once again, there's no achievements or collectibles or any secrets like that, so that's all we're going to be doing. FNAF 4 the Halloween Edition. It's actually a complete reskin of normal FNAF 4 if you didn't know, so the progress carries over from regular FNAF 4. It doesn't add any additional content, it's literally just a complete reskin, so of course I'm not going to be beating FNAF 4 twice. FNAF World and also FNAF World Update 2, I'm just going to combine both of them in one because it's sort of like a DLC, but it comes included as a main part of the game, not as a separate download. For this game, we're going to need all 21 chips, all 26 bytes, including the 3 Endo armor upgrades, as well as the Fan and Pearl bytes, all 48 characters, and of course all 9 endings and trophies. Sister Location MA. This game is actually probably the weirdest game that we're going to be playing because it has no endings, it has no secrets, no collectibles, no achievements. It literally doesn't have anything to accomplish. It goes on infinitely. So I had to come up with some goals. The only fair thing that I could actually come up with was to buy every item, I guess. I believe there's 28 of them. I have to just buy every item at least once throughout however long it takes. So it's really a weird game. There's nothing you can actually do. Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location plus the Custom Night. Also, I combined the Custom Night with the base game because once again, like FNAF World, it was just an additional update. Starting off with nights 1 to 5, the 8-bit Circus Baby minigame, which grants keycard access, the private room secret ending, then all 9 very hard mode presets, and obviously Golden Freddy on very hard mode. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. All 6 certificates and all 4 achievements. I didn't even include Hardest Saturday because once again I said no self-imposed challenges. I was actually gonna do a run where I would buy everything from the catalog, which is basically like a full pizzeria, I guess. But that doesn't give you anything, so it's not required for 100%. The Ultimate Custom Night Demo. This is another strange game because there's literally nothing you can do in this game except for beating all 16 levels, which is kind of weird. Regular Ultimate Custom Night. all 14 cutscenes, including the Golden Freddy cutscene, and all 16 challenge presets. This year I also added the Old Man Consequences secret ending, and of course we're gonna have to be beating 50-20. No 50-20, no death coin yet, because once again it's a self-imposed challenge. I think I'll talk more about self-imposed challenges at the end of the video, and maybe what they'll look like in the future, what I'll plan on doing. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. This one's actually fairly simple. All 30 coins, all 16 tapes, all 55 collectibles in the prize counter, all 4 endings, which is kind of debatable. It's like, what are endings, what actually counts as an ending, but I counted 4, all 41 mini games, and all 15 achievements on Steam. And no, I won't be going for the platinum on like PlayStation or all Xbox achievements. I'm going off Steam achievements, so if there's any extra weird ones in like even any of the mainline games, I'm not going for them, because on Steam they don't have achievements. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted, The Curse of Dreadbear DLC. All 10 mini games, but with the Pirate Ride minigame, we're going to be going for the highest rank, which is Admiral, as well as getting 100% accuracy on the Build a Mangle minigame. And of course, all 39 collectibles in the prize counter, and all 2 endings for this DLC. Freddy in Space 2. All 10 trophies, all 21 bosses, and getting all 6 characters to a maxed out level of 5. Security Breach Fury's Rage. All 3 endings and all 5 bosses, pretty straightforward. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. All 125 prizes, including all security badges, retro CDs, and even upgrades. All 50 messages, all 6 endings, and of course all 29 Steam achievements. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin. All 50 prizes, all 3 endings, and finally to deactivate all 32 wet floor signs. Freddy in Space 3, Chica in Space. This is also another strange game, but don't worry, it's just the last one. There is no collectibles, there's no max level for the characters, which I found weird, and there's no trophies. The only thing we're actually going to have to do is beat all 13 bosses, because I couldn't come up with anything else to do. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted 2. This is probably the longest game with the most objectives. All 85 collectibles, all 7 memories, and all 6 Faz Force action figures. All 11 coins, all 12 puzzle pieces, all 40 minigames, all 3 endings, and finally, all 37 Steam achievements. The 5 Laps of Freddy's demo. I wasn't actually even going to include this in the marathon, but I had to, or else people in the comments would be like, whoa, you're not doing every single FNAF game. So I decided to include this. It's just a demo for right now, but it's apparently coming out, I believe, in 2026, so maybe I'm looking forward to that, who knows. This is another weird game. Since it's unfinished and it's only a demo, it has no endings, no achievements, no collectibles, no trophies, no anything like that. This is sort of a self-imposed challenge, so I kind of broke my own rule, but just like Sister Location MA, there's no really goals in this game. So I came up with getting first place on all 3 maps. It's actually way harder than you would think. Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. All 5 endings, all 11 alternate tracks. Actually, there may be more than 11. I actually don't know, but those are all objectives at least. All 49 collectible items, and all 38 Steam achievements. Last but not least, Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. All 3 endings, all 25 collectibles, all 5 film rolls, all 42 text logs, all 22 voice logs, and finally, all 25 Steam achievements. If you want this huge list of objectives on a Google Docs, please go check the description, because there will be an absolute huge checklist for anyone that either wants to see proof of what I did, just wants to look over the goals, or if you actually want to do this yourselves, please go check. It's in the description. It has literally every single game listed that I played here. It's 40 pages long, and yes, it includes every single objective in a checklist format. And obviously, this entire video idea, if you can't tell, is completely inspired by Astral Spiff and his FNAF marathons. Please, if you somehow haven't seen them, go watch them before you watch this. Also, thanks to Summoning Salt for the songs in his videos that I'm using, which are very inspired by him. And this video is also hugely inspired by the Bones5 and his Max Mode videos. Please go check out his videos as well, as they are very in-depth and high quality. Also, if you're wondering, all of the music that I used in this video is also linked down in the description. One last thing to state before we start. I know some of you are probably asking about FNAF AR, or Special Delivery. If you look at the FNAF wiki, which I'll show on screen now, you'll see 4 games that won't be included. All 4 of those have been completely taken down by Scott, or have been privated. Those games were FNAF AR, the DLC for FNAF AR. I didn't even know it had a DLC, to be honest. And then there's this weird U2's FNAF game. I'll show us on the screen. I bet you like no one even knew that this was a thing. And oddly enough, there was an official Roblox game, but of course it's gotten taken down. So I don't have to play any of those 4 games. So yes, I technically did play every FNAF game ever because I cannot play the 4 ones that are taken down. Finally, we can get into the full video. Seriously, please enjoy this video. You really thought that I would 100% just the games, didn't you? I mean, like, to be fair, that's what the title of the video is, but it's wrong. I 100%ed all of the books as well. I mean, almost all of them. And obviously the ones printed in paper are the ones that I could not get my hands on, so sorry for not getting every single book, but I got close. I even decided to 100% the 3 types of FNAF Fanta. And let's just include it, why don't I just 100% the 2 FNAF movies as well? All of this genuinely took years of collecting, and I know obviously this isn't all of the books. I know I'm missing, I think, of around 9 of them at the time of filming this. I have all of those out on paper, as you can see. But yeah, I almost 100%ed the entire FNAF franchise. I believe I'm the first person to do this much of all the books and games. So I think I'm the first person to do all this. So now I just need to win a game of FNAF Monopoly. Alright, let's go back to the objectives just to make sure we know what we're doing. All we're going to be doing for FNAF 1 is nights 1 to 5, the bonus 6th night, and of course 420 mode on the custom night. 100% in this game is actually super easy, as literally there's 7 different objectives and they're all just beating a single night. So it's pretty much one of the easiest games in this series. Let's get started with night 1. Now I'm not going to go over the basic mechanics of this game, and I'm not going to go too in depth. I'm kind of just going to assume that you know how this game works. Of course I'm going to explain how 420 mode works and how my strategy is going to work, but I think we all know how Five Nights at Freddy's 1 works. Now I'll talk about the final challenge of this game, 420 mode on night 7. .420 mode is very easy and probably the easiest max mode out of all of them. I'll quickly explain the easiest strategy to win, and then I'll show the deaths and the winning run. As soon as you enter the night, switch to camera 4B. Then you simply want to keep repeating the exact same cycle over and over throughout the entire night, which is left door, flip cams, right door, flip cams. Of course, you're also going to want to have to check on Foxy every once in a while, but that's pretty much it for the entire night. Now, let's get into the final attempt and winning run of 420 mode from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. This time, instead of showing the full run, I'll have it linked in the description of the uncut footage if you guys want to go see proof of that. But for now, I'll just get into the actual winning attempt. With 420 mode now done on night 7, we can now say that Five Nights at Freddy's 1 has been 100% completed as game number 1, with a total death count of 1 and a total playtime of 1 hour and 12 minutes. Our first game has successfully been 100% completed. Moving on to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, all we'll have to do for this game is nights 1 to 5, night 6, all 9 night 7 presets, and of course 1020 Golden Freddy mode. Once again, a pretty simple game to 100%, only requiring a couple nights, and then a bunch of boring nights, and then of course the 1020 mode, the hardest challenge. Finally, let's get into Golden Freddy 1020 mode, or the max mode of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Once again, I'm not going to go super in depth on how Golden Freddy mode works, but I'm going to show you my basic strategy and how to counter most of the animatronics very easily. Starting off, instantly start winding up the music box until you hear animatronics in the front hall. Then you can start flipping up and down the monitor after winding the box for a couple seconds. Check not only the hallway, but make sure to check both vents. Now this is the most important tip for this entire mode and the right vents cam strategy, which is the one that I'm using. Whenever you get a blackout, you want to wait an extra half a second around there before releasing the mask. Then you only want to check the hallway, obviously, to prevent Foxy from killing you, but the right vent. You don't want to check the left vent. Now the reason for this is because it prevents Toy Chica and Balloon Boy from entering and killing you when you wait that extra half a second. So if you mess that part up, then RNG will probably kill you. The hardest part I find with this half a second wait time is usually Foxy, because sometimes he'll just kill you if you weren't fast enough earlier. So you're gonna have to be getting pretty good at flashing Foxy. Now the real difficult part of Golden Freddy mode is when you release the mask and then Toy Bonnie is just right there in the right vent. This is almost unavoidable with this strategy, so you're gonna have to get very lucky every time he shows up so that the music box doesn't run out. Toy Bonnie will probably kill around 95% of the runs, so you literally have to be prepared for RNG hell. Now let's get into the deaths and full run. Yes! Yes, dude! Oh my god! It's over! Oh my god, man, that was so dumb. Oh, finally, dude. Now, after the completion of Golden Freddy 1020, I can now say that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has been 100% completed as game number 2. With a total death count of 137 and a total playtime of 8 hours and 56 minutes. Wow. 137 deaths on 1020 mode, pretty much alone, is unreal. That's like an unreal amount of bad luck. I don't think I've ever taken this long to beat a maximum before. That is literally not that hard, but here we are. Next up is the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Troll game, which our objectives are literally only to beat all 30 levels, since it's a troll game and there's pretty much nothing else you can do in this game. After those 30 levels are completed, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 The Troll Game has now been 100% completed. With a total of 9 deaths and a total of 2 hours and 6 minutes, we are officially done with the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Troll Game. For Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we're gonna have to do nights 1 to 5 for the bad ending, then nights 1 to 5 again for the good ending, Nightmare Mode or Night 6, and finally Aggressive Nightmare Mode to end it off. easiest strategy for Aggressive Nightmare that I find is to basically keep him on camera 6. Now, if he goes to the arcade, you'll hear him move and you won't hear the audio getting louder. And if he goes to cam 5, you will hear the audio getting louder. Literally, the only strategy is to use common sense and to pretty much just block off any event that he's getting close to. Now that Aggressive Nightmare is done, we can now say that Five Nights at Freddy's 3 has been 100% completed, with a total death count of 14 and a total playtime of 2 hours and 29 minutes. For Five Nights at Freddy's 4, we're going to have to do nights 1 to 5, night 6, Nightmare or night 7, 420 mode for night 8, and finally all 6 extra challenge presets, all on Nightmare mode. for Blind Mad Freddy Insta Foxy, you want to start off by going instantly to the left door and then quickly to the closet. You want to hold at the closet for about 8 seconds, then go and flash the Freddles. Once that's done, go to the left door, then back to the Freddles, and then right door, closet, and Freddles. This entire cycle will repeat until around 4 AM when Nightmare shows up. This mode will likely require you a good amount of attempts to learn the timings and of course to get pretty lucky, so good luck with this mode because it's genuinely just not fun at all. With Nightmare Blind Mode Mad Freddy Insta Foxy finally done, we are now 100% complete, Five Nights at Freddy's 4. With a total death count of 40 and a total playtime of 3 hours and 26 minutes. For FNAF World Halloween Edition, all we're gonna have to do is unlock all 10 character upgrades and beat all 19 bosses. And just like that, FNAF World Halloween Edition has been 100% completed. With a total death count of only 3 and a total playtime of 54 minutes. For FNAF World, all we're gonna have to do is get all 21 chips, all 26 bytes, including the 3 Endo Armor upgrades, as well as the Fan and Pearl bytes, all 48 characters, and of course, all 9 endings and trophies. And after that very long grinding process, FNAF World has been 100% completed. With a total death count of 8 and a total playtime of 8 hours and 4 minutes, we are done. Game number 7. For sister location MA, the only thing we have to do is buy all 28 items at least once throughout however many playthroughs it takes. With all 28 items officially purchased, that is sister location MA 100% completed. With a total death count of 3 and a total time of 52 minutes. That is game number 8 out of 23. For Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, we're going to have to do nights 1 to 5, the 8-bit Circus Baby minigame which grants the keycard access, the private room secret ending, all 9 very hard mode presets, and of course Golden Freddy on very hard mode. For Golden Freddy Very Hard, to be honest, there's really not much of a specific strategy to use. You're pretty much just playing how it's meant to be played, with literally no stalling or any luck-based strats. It's 100% skill-based. I really don't have like any tips for this mode, so honestly, all I have to say is good luck if you're trying to beat it. With Golden Freddy Very Hard mode successfully beaten, that is Five Nights at Freddy's sister location 100% completed. With a total death count of only 8 and a total playtime of 3 hours and 24 minutes, that is game number 9 100% completed. For Pizza Sim, all we gotta do is get all 6 certificates and all 4 achievements. And just like that, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator has been 100% completed. With a total death count of only 9 and a total playtime of 5 hours and 4 minutes, that is game number 10 100% completed. For the ultimate custom night demo, all we have to do is beat all 16 levels, and that's literally it. And now, the Ultimate Custom Night demo has been 100% completed. With a total death count of 41 and a total time of 29 minutes. For Ultimate Custom Night, we're going to have to do all 14 cutscenes, including the Golden Freddy cutscene, all 16 challenge presets, the Old Man Consequences secret ending, and of course, 50/20. Now let's get into 50/20. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as I possibly can, so here we go. First, when you're loading into the night, you want to hold 1 space and click in this specific spot so that the power generator is on, the fan is off, and the wet floor sign is moved to the right. Then, set a lure in the ducts here and set a vent snare here. Go to cam 8 and find where Mr. Hugs is at on the cameras and then shut that exact door. Go to the prize counter and now you can start coin farming by flipping up and down the monitor at the same time as clicking Helpy, closing the right vent to block off JJ and Balloon Boy, and also flashing Nightmare BB. Then, once the timer hits 14 seconds, you want to press 5 to turn on the global music box. Once you're at 10 coins, flip up the cams, buy the Death Coin and Death Coin Funtime Foxy. Now wait until 30 seconds hits, and then turn on the heater for around 2 seconds, then the power AC to put the temperature down, and then back to the fan and power generator. If Shadow DD showed up at either 11 or 21 seconds exactly, then now is a perfect time to flip up and get rid of Plush Trap. The last thing to note is Foxy and Bonnie. If the Foxy action figure is ever on the desk, you want to perform a 0-frame flip, just a very quick camera flip, and you want to do this until Foxy is gone from the desk. This is the most RNG part of the entire run because sometimes he just won't leave at all. Always remember to turn the global music box on at 14 and 44 second intervals and the heater and power AC on every 30 seconds. That's a very brief explanation of how to beat 5020, but in general it's mostly RNG based. Now, let's actually beat it. Now with 5020 done, Ultimate Custom Night has been 100% completed. With a total death count of 41 and a total playtime of 4 hours and 24 minutes, game number 12 has been 100% completed. For FNAF Help Wanted, we're gonna have to do all 30 coins, all 16 tapes, all 55 collectibles in the prize counter, all 4 endings, all 41 minigames, and finally all 15 Steam achievements. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted has now been 100% completed, with a total death count of 30 and a total playtime of 4 hours and 52 minutes. Game number 13 is now 100% completed. For the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, we're going to have to do all 10 minigames with the highest rank of Admiral for the Pirate Ride one, as well as 100% accuracy on Build a Mangle, all 39 collectibles in the prize counter, and of course, both endings. Now, Help Wanted: The Curse of Dreadbear DLC has been 100% completed, with a total death count of 15 and a total playtime of 3 hours and 41 minutes. Game number 14 is 100% completed. For Freddy in Space 2, we have to get all 10 trophies, all 21 bosses, and of course we have to get all 6 characters to a maxed out level of 5. After all that, Freddy in Space 2 has now been 100% completed. With a total death count of 15 and a total playtime of 4 hours and 23 minutes, game number 15 has been 100% completed. For Security Breach Fury's Rage, literally all we have to do is get all 3 endings and beat all 5 bosses. That's literally it. Just like that, Security Breach Fury's Rage has been 100% complete, with a total death count of 3 and a total playtime of 1 hour and 17 minutes. For Security Breach, we're gonna have to get all 125 prizes, which includes the security badges and the retro TDs, all 50 messages, all 6 endings, and finally all 29 Steam achievements. And now security breach has been 100% completed. With a total death count of only 7 and a total playtime of 6 hours and 29 minutes, game number 17 has been 100% completed. For Security Breach Ruin, all we're going to have to do is get all 50 prizes, all 3 endings, and deactivating all 32 wet floor signs. Security breach ruin has now been 100% complete. with a total death count of only 7 and a total playtime of 3 hours and 43 minutes. Game number 18 is now done. For Freddy in Space 3, all we literally have to do is to beat all 13 bosses, and that's actually everything we have to do. Freddy in Space 3 has now been 100% completed. With a death count of 0 and a total playtime of 34 minutes, game number 19 is now done. For Help Wanted 2, we're gonna have to get all 85 collectibles, all 7 memories, all 6 Faz Force action figures, all 11 coins, all 12 puzzle pieces, all 40 minigames, all 3 endings, and finally all 37 Steam achievements. After all of that, Help Wanted 2 has now been 100% complete. With a total death count of 41 and a total playtime of 9 hours and 33 minutes, game number 20 is now done. For 5 laps of Freddy's, all we're going to have to do is to get first place on all 3 maps. Once again, this is because currently this game is just unfinished and it's just a demo, so there's literally nothing to do in this game as of now. After those 3 races are over, we have now 100% completed 5 laps at Freddy's. With a total death count of 12 and a total playtime of 2 hours and 53 minutes, game number 21 has been 100% completed. For Into the Pit, we're going to have to get all 5 endings, all 11 alternate tracks, all 49 collectible items, and finally all 38 Steam achievements. And now, Into the Pit is 100% complete. With a total death count of 21 and a total playtime of 8 hours and 6 minutes, game number 22 is now done. For our 23rd and last game, Secret of the Mimic, we're going to have to get all 3 endings, all 25 collectibles, all 5 film rolls, all 42 text logs, all 22 voice logs, and finally all 25 Steam achievements. And after all of that, Secret of the Mimic has been 100% completed. With a total death count of 20 and a total playtime of 7 hours and 53 minutes, game number 23 is done. Now that I've actually 100%ed all 23 games, let's get into some cool stats because that's what I did in the last marathon. Let's start off with the deaths. With a total death count of 485 deaths across the whole series, that leaves us with an average death count of 21 deaths per game, which honestly is not bad at all, but it definitely was increased a lot because of FNAF 2. Comparing this to my last 100% marathon with only 12 games, that averaged to around 31 deaths per game. So I definitely improved a lot. With 11 new games added, I somehow managed to average 10 less deaths per game, with only 114 more deaths in total, so definitely not bad at all. Now let's look at the playtime. With a total playtime of 94 hours and 53 minutes across all of the uncut footage, we can convert this into minutes, which is around 5,693, which averages out to be around 248 minutes per game, which is also an average of 4 hours and 8 minutes. Comparing this to my last 100% marathon with again only 12 games, that averaged around 5 hours and 20 minutes per game. So again, with 11 more games, I improved the pace by around an hour and 12 minutes, and still 31 more hours of gameplay. If you remember from the last 100% marathon, all of that footage took up 411 gigabytes on my computer in total. Well, this time, it took up 629. So it was an increase of around 218 gigabytes, which honestly, I thought it would be doubled because it's pretty much double the game. So definitely not as bad as it could have been. Okay, I'm going to try not to take too long, but I'm going to do a ranking of every FNAF game in release order based on, how much I like it, how much I enjoy playing them, all that kind of stuff, how good they actually are. So I'm not going to try to take 25 minutes to do this. I'm just going to get this done within like 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, here we go. Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I'm going to put in B tier. I think it is a good game. It's a good base game to start off with, and there's just not enough to do. It's scary, it gets the job done, it's a classic. Obviously, it's not as good quality now, but it was great for its time, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Next up, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This is one of my favorite original FNAF games. I think the gameplay is great, I think it's really fun, and I think this is where difficulty was actually, brought into the game fully. I don't like the RNG aspect of it, but of course, every game is going to have some bit of RNG. I do think it's a great game though. There's a lot of like extra stuff you can do, like the custom night presets, and you know, getting all the plushies in game. That's cool. Now we got the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 troll game. I'm gonna put this in D tier because it's basically just a reskin of Scott's old troll game, which is, you know, just the 30 levels of, you know, like, it's like a platformer pretty much, right? It's just not that fun. It's okay. It's definitely better than the other troll games. I think, honestly, sometimes it can be fun to play, especially on the later levels. It's just, you know, poorly made, obviously, and it's janky, but I do think there is some fun behind it, so I'll put it in D tier. Then we got Five Nights at Freddy's 3. This is probably my least favorite original FNAF game, but I'm gonna put it in C tier. I don't think it's a bad game necessarily, I just don't think the gameplay is very good. The lore and the story is very cool, and I especially really love getting the good ending always. But, you know, beating the max modes and beating the base game is really boring because the gameplay is just not fun, and it's RNG based instead of skill based. So yeah, I'll put it in C tier. Then we got Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this in A tier behind FNAF 2 because I really love FNAF 4. I think it's one of the greatest FNAF games. It's scary, it gets the job done, it's fun to play. There's a bunch of good secrets in this game, and, you know, I love how much there is to do. There's 8 full nights. And there's 6 extra bonus ones, which is cool. I know not all the bonus ones are good, especially the blind mode ones are pretty awful. But I do think it's a really good game. It holds up to this day as being really scary and probably the most or second most scary FNAF game. Next we got the FNAF World troll game. I'm going to put this, unfortunately, in E tier. It is just not a good game. It's basically just a really garbage version of FNAF World. It's, you know, poorly made. It's just, the graphics are bad, the music sucks, it's not fun. It's just, there's nothing really good about it, to be honest. It's not a good game. I'll put it in E tier. Now we got FNAF World. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this in B tier because I think FNAF World is actually a pretty underrated game. I used to be a FNAF World hater, but I actually enjoy it quite a lot, so I'm going to put it in B tier. There's a lot to do, surprisingly, and it's honestly really fun. The attacking, and especially my favorite part, unlocking the Halloween characters, and especially the entire like Halloween DLC is really fun. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next up, we got the Sister Location troll game. This is an awful game. It is basically Sit and Survive, which is another you know, Scott troll game back in the day, or a remake of Scott's old game. It is garbage. The worst part about it is there's literally nothing to do. There's no ending, there's no collectibles, there's no secrets. It's just an endless game that keeps going until you die each time. It's unbeatable. And the gameplay is garbage, the music sucks, the graphics are bad, there's just nothing good about it. It's a bad game. Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. I think Sister Location is actually an incredible FNAF game, and I'm going to put it in S tier. It is definitely my favorite of the Scott era FNAF games. And I just think it's a great game. It's unique, it's fun, especially the custom night and, you know, all the secret endings and stuff and lore and the music. It's just a great game in general. I'm going to put it at S tier. Now we got Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. I'm going to put this at a B tier behind FNAF World, surprisingly. The main reason why I'm putting it behind FNAF World is because of the night sections, which are just super boring, and you're literally just sitting in an office doing nothing. I do really enjoy the pizzeria part of it, the tycoon part, where you're, you know, designing your pizzeria, playing all the mini games, getting money. I think that part's really fun, and it's a good gameplay loop. Now we got to the UCN troll game. This is an awful game. I don't really have too much to say. It's Scott's first game, you know, reskinned. It's awful. It is abysmal. Like, it is a garbage game. 16 levels of pure garbage. Like, the shooting, how you shoot other characters and kill them, it's in a random direction. It's not, you can't even aim it. So that's going in E tier. Now we got Ultimate Custom Night. I'm going to put Ultimate Custom Night in B tier above FNAF World. Now, some people will say Ultimate Custom Night sucks and it's just boring and it's just stupidly difficult. But I think that 50-20 is what makes it such a fun game. Like, once you're good enough to beat 50-20, this game becomes really fun to play. I do think, you know, the base game and all the challenges and the cutscenes is not great. And there's only one ending, I believe, which is the Golden Freddy ending. I guess technically there's the Old Man Consequences, so there's 2. But I still think it's really fun to play, and I do really enjoy it, so B tier. Now we got Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. This is my favorite FNAF game. I'm putting it above Sister Location in S tier. I just overall think it is an incredible game, and it is there's no flaws I have. It's terrifying, it's fun, it's a long game, there's a lot to do. It's a great game. It's just everything about it is very well made, and I think it's the best FNAF game. Now we got the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for Help Wanted. I think the Curse of Dreadbear DLC is a C tier above FNAF 3. I definitely think it had a lot of potential, because out of the 10 minigames, 3 of them is just regular office boring gameplay. It's just a reskin of FNAF 1 pretty much. So I do think the 7 other minigames like Build-A-Mangle, Pirate Ride, Corn Maze, those are very fun to play. Like even all of them are just really fun to play. I do like the ending of the game, and I especially like the Corn Maze ending where you get all the keys and get the Vanny Mask in the basement. I think that's great. Now we got Freddy in Space 2. I think Freddy in Space 2 is a C tier game. It is the second spin-off that Scott made, and it's honestly not that bad. It's honestly pretty fun if you know what you're doing. Like, getting all the collectibles and all the trophies and, you know, all the secrets and whatnot is actually quite fun to do, and I actually recommend playing it. I don't think it's the greatest because, you know, it's kind of old and janky, but it is pretty fun to play. Now we got Security Breach Furious Rage. I think this game is unfortunately a D tier because there is just not a lot to it. There's like a couple endings for beating the game on hard mode and whatnot, but there's no secrets, no collectibles, no nothing else. That's it. It's basically a fighting game, and you can pretty much just cheese it as playing as Monty the whole time. So I don't think it's that fun. I think the first playthrough is pretty fun, but other than that, it's boring. Now we got Security Breach. This is definitely the most controversial one, but I think Security Breach is an S tier above Sister Location. I think it's a very fun game. It's not scary, obviously, but it's just really nostalgic, and I really love, like, it's really fun, and especially getting all the collectibles and 100%ing it is just such a great experience. I recommend going to do it for yourself. Now we got Security Breach Ruin. So I think Ruin is a pretty solid DLC. I'm going to put it above UCN. It does what Security Breach did by making it scarier and making it, I guess, make a bit more sense. I think the lore is pretty good in this game. I just don't think there's enough to it. I think it's a pretty solid game. There's a good amount of collectibles. I wish there was more like secrets, more endings, and I wish it was a bit longer, but overall, it's a pretty good DLC. Now we got Freddy in Space 3. I'm going to put Freddy in Space 3, unfortunately, at low D tier because it has the same problem that Sister Location Troll Game has. There's no collectibles, there's no endings, like, there's really no secrets, there's just nothing to do in this game. It's a one-time thing and you're done. That's kind of it. It's just not that fun. The quality's great, but it's just not that fun, so I'm putting it in D tier. Now we got Help Wanted VR2. I am going to put this in S tier, right behind Help Wanted 1. I think it's a great sequel, and it's just a great FNAF game in general. It's scary, it's fun, it's enjoyable, there's a ton to do in this game. I think it's a great game, so it's going in S tier. Now we got the 5 Laps at Freddy's demo. Unfortunately, this is the first modern FNAF game I'm putting in E tier. It is just not fun at all. You're playing against AI, and it's just a demo, I know that. Hopefully the real game gets cancelled, let's be honest, it's not fun. It's just not a good game. There's nothing to do in it, and you're playing against AI, and there's limited content, so it's just not that good. E tier. Then we got Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. I'm actually going to put this at an A tier right behind FNAF 4 because I think this was a step in the correct direction, and I think Mega Cat Studios did a fantastic job with this game. I think it's a really fun game, and I really think they actually brought difficulty back, which is something I really appreciate about this game. Now, moving on to the final game, Secret of the Mimic. I'm going to put this above Ruin. I think it's a pretty solid FNAF game. I just think that it doesn't feel the same as FNAF. It feels completely different, which is okay, but I do think that it has some weaknesses to it, like being pretty confusing lore-wise, and I don't think I think there is enough to do, actually. I don't know. I don't think there's enough to it. Like, it lacks some soul, I feel like, but it's a good game overall. B tier. There we go. There is my quick rant about every FNAF game in a tier list. Hopefully you can agree with some of these. Some of them you won't agree with. But otherwise, I guess let's move on to the outro. One thing I almost forgot from the start of the video is that I said I would talk more about self-imposed challenges at the end of the video, so now I will. Once again, I probably could have chosen to include 50/20 No Death Coin, or Hardest Saturday, or even True Nightmare on Into the Pit, but the reason I didn't was genuinely because I still haven't beaten 50/20 No Death Coin, but also because I want to use this video as like a basis for anyone who also wants to complete this challenge, and I want people to like think of doing this and then they go use my checklist as like a guide. So I don't really think that many people are going to even try to go for 50/20 No Death Coin or even like True Nightmare on Into the Pit. I definitely do agree that I could have added them, but I just decided not to make it simpler for everyone. And there's definitely some other gray areas with certain games, like with the FNAF 3 troll game. I was originally going to do a deathless run where I have still 100 or 99 whatever lives at the end of it, but in the end there's just no point of it. Like, it doesn't give you anything and it's kind of just a big waste of time. And also with Pizzeria Simulator, I also felt like getting 6 certificates and 4 achievements just isn't enough for being a mainline entry. I originally planned on getting every single item in like a single run, but again, like, you just don't get anything for doing that. It's just kind of a waste of time. Again, I just want this to be a basis for other people to look back at to see what is the best way to 100% every game. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll do a third and final one, but I will definitely need to come up with some other twist. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to wait for enough games to come out, because as of now, there's been no new games since Secret of the Mimic. Just like I said at the end of the last one, this is obviously the biggest and most ambitious like project I've ever done. So I will not be doing another video as big as this one is for multiple years, or who knows, maybe this is the last one I do. This video easily took me hundreds and hundreds of hours over the course of pretty much an entire year, including the planning, recording, scripting, like literally everything. Hundreds of hours put into this video. Once again, this video would not be possible without Astral Spiff's FNAF Marathon series, which this video is absolutely a tribute to one of the greatest FNAF YouTubers ever, as well as being inspired by another goat of FNAF, The Bones 5, and of course most of the music is fully inspired by Summoning Salt. So thank you so much if you're watching. I'm sorry that this video took forever for me to make, and I'm talking forever. I know, I understand. But I hope it was worth the wait, because this is my biggest project ever. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.